Okay, so, my name's Kat Phillips.
Hey, Cat Phillips. How you doing?
This is going to be like an autobiographical video series. It's going to focus a lot more on a lot of my upbringing, a lot of my relationship with my mother, who I believe is an undiagnosed antisocial personality disordered person.
Okay. Just so we're all clear, here is what the DSM 5 has to say about antisocial personality disorder.
Who can say where the road goes, where the day flows? Only time and who.
She only recently lied to a judge's face and said she's more than happy to go to a group therapist, but I have tried to get her to do that a few times and she always finds a reason not to go.
Kind of sounds to me like she doesn't want a relationship with you. Maybe take the hint.
I'm making the video right now, even though I'm not 100% prepared. I'm going to be making more follow-up videos
Yeah, I'm sure you are.
because I need to show you what it's like living with my back the way it is, which is in no small way thanks to my mother.
And who can say if your love grows as your heart shows? Only time.
I'm gonna try walking around a bit and kind of just like in front of the camera and just show you what it's like.
You're gonna show us what your pain's like? Okay.
And this is a better day. This is a mild day when my back is flaring up, and it's been this way. I'm 37 now. It's been this way since I was 13, 14 years old, and my mother didn't do anything about it until I was almost 30. We'll get into the details about that.
But you're an adult at age 18. Why wouldn't you just go take care of it yourself?
So I'm just gonna do a bit of walking around. I'm hoping that this will be able to teach people. I want people to learn from this.
I have a feeling we are going to learn a lot from this.
Other people who are suffering from abuse, from abusive parents, from cluster B personality disordered parents.
Oh, yeah, it sounds like a really toxic codependent relationship. Probably shouldn't be in it.
The abuse continues well into your adult years.
Well, guess what? You're an adult, so that's on you.
Even after you start to identify that they're abusive, you know, if it's a parent, particularly if it's your mother, it's very hard to just like walk away to even get to that point in your life
Oh, yeah? Well, why was it so hard?
where you start to realize and start to accept and acknowledge and process the fact that a lot of the behavior you learned was normal growing up is absolutely unhealthy and toxic.
That's called growing up.
It's hard enough getting there.
Is it, though?
And then, like, coming to terms, really letting yourself process the fact that your parent is likely not can't even, it doesn't even have the ability to love you, and they'll only ever be able to leech emotional support and validation out of you, and they'll just, it takes a lot of time. It's a process, and maybe this will help shorten that process for people out there
Yeah, it's called leaving the nest and doing your own thing.
who are dealing with this, by pointing out to you a lot of red flags my mother demonstrates, and showing you exactly where my life is at age 37, and again, explaining to you all the ways in which this is thanks to my mother.
You're 37 years old. Are you seriously about to blame your mother for all of your bad decisions and poor outcomes in life since you were 18? That's 19 years you're going to blame her for. That's more than half of your life that she's responsible for. Fuck off!
Who, again, I strongly believe, after taking many psych classes in high school and then college, I had a mind to being an art therapist for a long while. And after reading, I don't know how many psych books, talking to how many therapists about it, thinking about it for hours, hours now, days and days, weeks, months, years at this point. Like, I've been thinking about it. She has antisocial personality disorder. It's not just narcissism. There's a real control element.
Okay, so let's say that you did have the qualifications to diagnose her. The fuck business is it of yours? You're 37 goddamn years old. Do your own fucking thing. Jesus Christ, woman.
And that she needs control over people to give her a sense of power and validate herself. If she starts to feel like she's losing control of the situation or people in her life, she responds by doing extreme, unhealthy things, like violating people's human rights.
She violated your human rights? How? Go on.
Anyway, so yeah, before I lose the light, I'm gonna just try to walk around a bit and show you what it's like. I'm gonna try.
But how is she violating human rights? No. We don't care about your back. Your back is fine. You're walking, you're not in a wheelchair. Just shut up.
I like bend over and try to pick a few things up, show you what this is like, living like this at age 37. And this back is like, you just never know when it's going to decide to go out. So right now I'm walking about as much as I can, like about as fast and as well as I can with this back.
We can't hear you.
Okay? It's a flare up. It's not nearly as bad as
What?
it's been in the past. I'm hoping if I baby it just right, that it won't get any worse and I won't lose like weeks and weeks to this particular
You've walked pretty far in a short amount of time. Are you sure your back's that bad?
episode. Instead, maybe I'll just lose 2-3 days. Walking around all day like this, well, off and on, laying down on the couch, trying to baby it, but I can't be too sedentary. I've learned that could even make it worse. I have to kind of move about and sit and lay as I need.
No, you just need to YouTube some yoga videos. Stretch. You'll feel better.
Always, not even when I'm just having an incident, always, or else it'll trigger an incident.
I have a feeling that you trigger a lot of incidents.
I'm going to try to bend down. I'm hoping I'm still on camera. I'm going to get back. Sorry, I'm probably not even on camera right now. Anyway, yeah, I'm going to try to stay closer to the camera so that you guys can make sure that I'm being seen.
So we can see your pain? Okay.
So this is like, yeah, hi, yeah, I'll be there in 100 years. Don't worry about me. Like, I have to move at a very slow pace. I can barely pick anything up or lift anything that's too heavy. Maybe just a few pounds, maybe a gallon at most. I'm gonna try to bend right now so you can see. And it's, of course, when I've applied for disability, like my back's never gone out. I've applied and reapplied at least a couple of times. My back's never out then, and so it doesn't look like much is wrong. It's like a, and yeah, when I'm getting back up, it's the worst. It's the worst.
Is it?
Back up. Oh my god, and that wasn't even that bad. Oh, that's actually pretty good. Oh my gosh.
Yeah, a little stretching makes you feel better, huh?
Oh, I've had times where it's so hard to straighten back up. I have unelicited, just guttural sounds just come right out of me.
Stop.
I'm gonna, I'm suspecting this is the first day it's done this. I'm hoping it'll be okay tomorrow morning, but quite often what I've learned from experience is tomorrow morning when I wake up, it'll be even worse and stiffer.
Wake up and do yoga.
So we'll see. Maybe I'll be able to get myself on camera tomorrow when it's like closer to what it typically is. I've been embroiled in a battle for control over my own life with my mother for almost 40 years now.
Oh, wow. That sounds like a totally voluntary thing that you have all the choice in the world to not be a part of and do your own thing.
And I'm tired. I just sat the other day and listened to her
You weren't held at gunpoint?
spin a tale of lies. She lies by telling the truth.
That does not make sense.
She's so skilled. She frames the truth in such a way that it sounds like a lie.
That still doesn't make sense. It's either a truth or a lie.
Or it sounds like, it sounds like,
What it sounds like, lady, is that you're full of shit and you're a malingerer and you blame everything on everyone else.
what she wants it to sound like. However, she wants to manipulate it, spin it.
In a newer video, you had mentioned that you use some sort of filtration system in your head for what your mom says. So if anything, you're the one doing the spinning.
That's what spinning is, actually. It's, you say the truth, but you say it in such a way that it's misleading.
No, that's just called lying.
So that's how she lies, and that's how she lied to the judge.
So she's either lying or she's not.
I intend to try and find as much evidence as I can
Yeah? And do what?
to refute her. I do have a good bit of evidence I can provide.
For who? Who cares?
I've been in the process of trying to get her to come clean about my molestation when I was a girl that she never reported.
Why do you need her validation? That something bad happened to you in your childhood that she just didn't acknowledge. Why does it matter to you? It seems like she's an awful human being. You probably should just have no contact with her. Why wouldn't you just do that?
And she even lied to the judge about that the other day and said I was trying to get a friend of the family, Rusty Chu, in trouble, even though I testified to cops and the detective that I reported it to, which I shouldn't have had to report it at 37. It should have been reported when I was a girl, and I told my mom about it. And it happened several times, and I told her about it like within a year of that. It wasn't like something I told her like 10 years later. She didn't know who it was, She wouldn't tell me for years what his name was, because I remembered later as an adult, and I didn't remember his name. And I realized when I was old enough and I was more mom-minded, looking back at the memories, like I never spoke to police about it.
Why not? You were 14 when it happened. I mean, there's 14-year-olds that are out there getting abortions that don't tell their parents about that. I mean, what stopped you from going to the police after school? Or telling your teacher? Or, I don't know, even if you were chicken shit enough until you waited until you were 18, do it then. Why did you wait? Did it really happen?
I never spoke to a psychologist about it.
Well, I mean, that's kind of on you.
I only told my mom about it, and then she said, well, that's not good that happened. We don't have to talk about it again.
So then that was end of story? You just stopped there? Didn't do anything else about it? Jesus.
And it was never brought up again until I started confronting her about it as an adult.
Again, that's on you.
And I realized she never told anybody. She never told anybody, and then she started lying back when I started confronting her about it. First, I was like, you never told anybody about it. You never told anybody. And you needed to tell somebody. You didn't protect me. And her first excuse was, you don't know. I told Rusty Chu, who was the friend of the family who was a cop. I told Rusty Chu.
Rusty. Why didn't you do anything? Rusty Chu. I want to meet this Rusty Chu character. What are we talking about? A redheaded Asian? What is a Rusty Chu? Sorry.
And the kid was 18 and he had a gun. She was coming up with, like, literally, that's seriously what she said. She's coming up with these excuses for, like, why they didn't tell the cops.
Oh, yeah? Well, what was your excuse?
So she was making it sound like she told Rusty Chu about it, but this kid was 18 years old and he had a gun and he was, like, going to hurt someone if they went to the cops about it, so they had to, like, deal with it on their own or something. That's what she was making it sound like initially. This came up many times over the course of years. Would, like, fizzle out. She'd give me some excuse that didn't feel quite right, and then I'd think it through and go, like, it didn't add up. And then confront her about it again, like, when we'd be in another argument about something. And then she'd come up with another lie, because I'd be like, this lie doesn't make any sense. So anyway, so then I came back at her. Oh, and then I was like, I didn't quite believe her that she told Rusty Chu.
Bitch, Rusty Chu isn't real. Get out of here. That is not a real person. Stop.
Because Rusty Chu was, like, from what I always remembered, I grew up, like, he's married to my mom, one of my mom's friends, and I grew up going to the beach with my mom and my sisters and, you know, Rusty's kids and his wife and like hang out at the beach with all them. So it's like, I was like, I didn't think she told Rusty Chu that. I thought she was just lying through her teeth. I didn't think Rusty Chu knew anything. I was like, Rusty Chu would have done something. You didn't tell him. And that's exactly what I said to the cops and to the detective when I reported this myself, like a couple weeks ago now. That I never believed my mom told Rusty Chu about it. And then her story changed. And then like when I confronted her about it, then like, you know, that, because I said if he's 18 and he's old enough to know better, he has the pedophile psychology. There's a very good chance he went on to do it to more girls because he wasn't caught. Like he wasn't punished at least when he was caught. I mean, I told my mom, so she should have done something.
Yeah, but apparently she didn't. So why didn't you?
Since she didn't do anything, he thought he got away with it. And
Yeah, he did. Because of you.
read up on these people, like it's very likely that he went on to do it again.
But you don't remember his name, or how you met him, or who he was affiliated with. You were 14. Come on.
Because he was already taught he can get away with it. When I confronted her about that part, then the story changed to, no, he's a freshman. You don't know that he's a freshman.
In high school or college? Sounds like college. So he was a freshman in college, so he was 18. Okay.
So first he was 18, he had a gun, and that's why they couldn't like make an official report with the police. He was gonna like hurt somebody, and then he was a freshman. And then now she's telling the judge after I went and reported it to the police because she's not telling me anything. She won't tell me the guy's name or anything. Then she told the judge the other day that I was trying to start all this to make a bunch of commotion and get people in trouble, and I was trying to get the friend of the family, Rusty Chu, into trouble.
Why the fuck would Rusty Chu be in trouble? I mean, well, also.
Then get justice for myself and make sure no other little girls have been raped. My mother is a sociopath.
Yeah, and
she sacrifices her own children.
yeah, she's apparently not very good at it.
And I've even seen her begin the patterns of sacrificing her grandchildren in many ways.
Except in the way of sacrificing a child where you put it on an altar and kill it. Except that way.
To validate herself. And this is just one, oh my gosh, wait till you hear the things she's done.
Beyond sacrificing a child?
Wait till you hear. But it's already like over 13 minutes for this video. So, I might try to, it's feeling a bit stiffer. I'm going to try to do a bit of a walk around a little bit.
Okay, well, do you want to turn off the video? Do you want to stop the video while you do that, or just no? Okay.
Again, so you can see, again, and this is a good day. This is a good day. I can actually walk. That means
Yeah, you can. Look at you go. Oh, you're doing so good. You're repeating yourself too.
it's a good day. Okay, there have been days where I can't even walk. I literally have to roll off the couch onto the floor. That's painful enough. And then crawl on my hands and knees just to go to the bathroom.
Well, then call EMS.
Okay, my mother has lived with me for significant portions of my adult years.
Why?
I haven't been able to work because of my back, and she's watched it get worse and worse. And it took me groveling on my hands and knees crying at 28 years old because it had grown into full-blown
what? Full-blown malingering?
full-blown for over a year chronic lower back pain and full-blown sciatica down my right leg.
Full-blown. Is that a medical definition? I had full-blown paper cut. I had full-blown headache. I had a full-blown blister. Jesus Christ, lady.
Because it was just pinching a nerve right here. And my L3, L4, right? Oh, that was not a good move. My L3, L4 vertebrae. At this point, also keep in mind, I suspect because I'm 37, I've been dealing with this kind of like chronic pain since I was 13, 14 years old.
Yeah, have you tried yoga? Yoga.
I'm seasoned at it. Anybody else dealing with the same pain I'm dealing with right now would be crying like a baby and rolling around on the ground if they could even manage to roll. They'd be in so much pain. You understand?
I understand that's what you did, and I also understand that you condescending to everyone else is not going to make you a lot of friends when it comes to, having sympathy for your pains, which I'm sure there are plenty of people listening to this video right now that have excruciatingly worse pain than you. You are a malingerer. You have no excuses for why you haven't managed to deal with that yet.
I'm a bit more seasoned at tolerating extreme pain than your average bear because I've been doing it for years.
Years?
This is how slow I have to move when I can walk, when I'm having one of my episodes of my flare-ups with my back. I don't think I've ever video documented it before. I mean, I've been to the ER plenty. And I had the back surgery on my lower spine when I was about 29 years old because I had eventually, it was so bad Again, for over a year at that point, my mom had been living with me. She was pursuing her nurse practitioner's degree, so she didn't give a shit. She was watching my back get worse and worse and worse. For a year, I was like this. I was more like this. I was even worse than how I am right now. For a year, I was literally like this. And I would go outside for a few minutes a day to get a bit of fresh air and literally like walk in a circle in the yard. And my mom watched this for over a year living with me. And she didn't care. She was focused on getting her nurse practitioner's degree. Never mind, again, she was told to take me to back specialist when I was like 14. She never bothered.
So at 28, 10 years after you should have been out of the house already and out of your mother's hair, you're still blaming her for what she didn't do for you. Wow. It's all about you, huh?
So finally, it got so bad, the pain, when you have chronic pain for a long time, it messes with your mind. It really does. One day I caught myself thinking to myself, like staring at my own right leg here, thinking, I don't need my leg, I can just cut it off. I just need the pain to stop. Just make the pain stop. And I realized, like, I'm losing my mind. It's so bad, the pain's so bad, I'm losing my damn mind. And the other women in my family have the big bazongas. I don't have them. There was no reason for me to be in excruciating back pain at age 13, 14 years old, like 2-3 times a year. There was no reason for it. She was told by a doctor to take me to a back specialist, and she chose to ignore it. And she lived with me for years as a teenager and in my 20s, off and on. I mean, I was at school, I was, back and forth, but she saw, like, a lot of times of me throwing my back out. A lot of times. And never once she like, maybe we should follow up with that back specialist that the doctor was saying I should take her to, because this is awful. Like, she's in so much pain, she can barely move. She's on the couch. She's losing all these opportunities. All her time is going out the window. She's not thinking about that. She couldn't be bothered. Literally, I was on her insurance till I was 23 years old. So it could have been done when I was on her insurance. Cheaper, easier. Okay?
It's called getting a job, getting your own insurance, and getting off of your mother's tit. Okay? Grow up. You're a fucking adult.
Instead, again, she had to pay like $8,000 for me to have back surgery, spinal surgery, when I was 28, 29, an extreme, like a very big one that I was told I might not have even survived. It was that serious of spinal surgery, and it could have been totally avoided to begin with. But it's not fun for her. Like, here's how sociopathic parents operate, particularly the moms. It's like, they will only do what they get rewarded for. Paycheck, a gold star, pat on the back. You have to be validating like their fantasy about themselves in some way. They need something in return, or they won't do it. And that just does not jive with motherhood. Okay, a lot of being a mom is you're gonna do a lot of shit that no one is gonna give you any praise for at all. At all. You're not gonna get a gold star sticker. You're not gonna get payment. You're not gonna get anything, because it's just some shit you're supposed to do as a mom. You took the job on. You need to do the work. You need to do the work. Period. End of discussion.
So let me get this straight. Your mom shelled out $9,000 of her own money that she worked for to give you for your back, and you weren't grateful enough for her. You didn't show gratitude. You just seemed to just demand it, and it seemed like it was deserved. Like you were deserved of that help that she did as a mom out of the grace of her own heart. Fuck you. Just fuck you.
Job on. You need to do the work. You need to do the work. Period. End of discussion. And but nobody's gonna reward her for something like going and sitting in a doctor's office waiting on results, and then likely she'll be told that there's more work she'll have to do, like take me to a rehab, or like help with me on like whatever exercises, anything, whatever. So yeah, my mother, who was middle-aged and overweight and did not get enough exercise, was sedentary, did not eat healthy, was telling her 13, 14-year-old teenage daughter, 15, 16 too. Again, it continued, and I kept going like back specialist. Her answer was, I have to deal with back problems, back pain. You might have to learn to deal with back pain too. Until I was groveling on my knees in front of her at about 28 years old. Please help me, please help me. And still, so like, and the surgery helped a lot. It cut back, I think, cut down on the incidence a lot, but it certainly has not fixed it completely at all. So anyway, it's been over 20 minutes now. I'm gonna turn this off, and maybe I can do more videos showing you the back problems.